Yeah, so we're back in the woods today, and we're on the hunt for something that nature can provide that gives us an advantage when lighting a fire. Yes, that's right, I'm looking for some fat wood. Behave yourselves. Yeah, so hello, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for taking the time out to tune in and check the videos out. So we've had a couple of storms lately in the woods, and I'm just checking it all out. So I thought while I'm here checking the ground out, see what's happened, see any damage, I might as well look for a bit of fat wood as well. Behave yourselves. And if I find some, we'll use that. See how easy it is to get a fire going then hopefully, and I'll cook a bit of dinner. Now you can find thousands of videos about fat wood on the internet, and basically what it is wood was being impregnated with a lot of resin from the tree. Now the tree will produce resin when it's under attack, if it's damaged, or even when it's dying. The resin will drop to the base of the tree, and that's where you can find it, in the tree stump or in the lower branches. Now fat wood, I know I keep saying it, but fat wood, bushcrafters love it. Fat wood to bushcrafters is like chips to tramps. They bloody love it. They get so excited over it, and they will pay a fortune online just to have fat wood. And you can go and get it yourself. If you know what to look for, yeah, you can get it for yourself. Personally, I don't use a lot of it. I find there's easier ways to start fires, but it's a good resource to have if you know where to find it, especially if there's crap weather, everything's damp. If you can find yourself a bit of fat wood, it's easier to get a fire going, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? Making life easier for yourself. So I'm gonna have a bit of a scout around the woods, see if there's any trees that come down in the storms, and see if I can find myself some fat wood. So if you're interested in that sort of stuff, stay tuned, and let's go and see what we can find. You see a lot of branches that come down from them storms. The ground is littered with them. These pine needles, they've got a certain amount of resin in the pine needles, and you can smell it. And when you put this on a fire, it ignites. Yeah, burns real quick. A lot of smoke obviously because it's green, but these ignite and they burn real fast. Now here's a good sign for some fat wood. You'll see a sticky residue, steady, on the tree, and just so that's the evidence, a little bit of resin what's coming to that lower limb, that lower branch, which has died off, and the tree uses this to protect itself. So if there is a bit of damage, a broken branch or damage to the bark, the tree will send the sap down, or the resin, to that damaged area to seal it off, stop any fungal spores or whatever it is get into the tree and cause it damage. So just like any living, breathing organism, it's got its defense mechanism, isn't it? And that's what the resin is. Yeah, so here's another example of that resin. You can see it's dripped down the tree a little bit. So even though it's only a small branch, I'm going to cut him off anyway, just to see if there's any resin inside. So I'm just using a cheap folding saw, less than a tenner. Yeah, you've got Silkies out there and all that, and really good, really good saws, but I don't use them very often. So something like this is good enough for me, and yeah, I've used this now good for years and it's still sharp. I'm gonna get my glass on for this. Now straight away I can feel there's nothing in this little branch. There's a tiny bit of resin in it, but that's been dead for a long time, and yeah, you can tell by the weight as well. It's really lightweight. It's good for a fire, so I'll keep that one side for the fire. So yeah, like I say, there's a little bit in here, but not enough to get excited about. So let's carry on the search. So not only can you find the resin-rich fat wood in the lower limbs of the trees, you can find it in old stumps. So in the stump, you can dig down, get into the roots where all the resin drops and collects, and then you can cut yourself a bit off, and there should be resin-rich wood. It's going to be damp, obviously it's in the ground, so you've got a preparation to do, clear off the outer layers and whatnot, but inside should have some good resin-rich fat wood. I found something here, it might be of interest. Let's have a look at it. So what we got here is a limb off a tree, or a bough, which has fallen off some time ago by the looks of it. and it's probably fallen off because it was dead. And because of that, the tree would have protected itself, pumped some resin into it. So I'm hoping there was some resin in this bough before it fell to the ground. Looks very fine, so I don't have as much resin in it. You can just see the resin rich core. You can see the resin in the bough. So there we are. We'll take that back now to have a bit of a fire. See if I can process that down and see if we can get a fire started with it. Right, I've processed the wood now, and there's not a lot of resin in it. There's a little bit. You could smell it, like the pitch pine smell. So what I'm going to do now is try and scrape a bit off onto that bit of bark I got, and hopefully get a fire going. Right, so we've got a good fire going now. Now them shavings took a bit of time to get going. I think mainly because the resin content wasn't as high as I'd hoped, but they did ignite in the end. It always pays to have an alternative way of starting a fire as well. So that's why I always carry a fire tin with several different ways of starting a fire. That way, if you do fail, you've got another way of starting a fire, haven't you? So today we've got, what is it? Spanish Combat Ration B5. What have we got here? Instant soup, green beans with ham, squid in vegetable oil, tin of peaches and syrup, and pate. Water's just come to the boil. Put that there for a minute. Something verdes con jamon. Well, I know jamon is ham. Oh, fucking that's hot. Squid. Might just pour these into the beans. That does not look appetizing at all, does it? While that's cooking, let's try the pate. The pate is bloody lovely in these things. I think I'll take this off the heat now. Yeah, the soup is quite nice. So Fatwood, like I say, very good for starting fires if you've got enough resin content in it, and you can buy it off the shelf. But if you are out and about in the forestry, have a look, see if you can get some yourself in it, see if you can find it. Again, there are other ways to start a fire. I should always have a fire tin, like I said. Right, should we have a look at this? Green beans with ham. Yeah, that's right. There's more beans than ham. Squid. I would say it tastes better than it looks, but there's not a lot of taste to it. I've ate worse. I can't remember when, but I have. The soup is nice. It's just try a couple of peaches. Oh yeah. Tin fruit is always good, isn't it? So there we are, guys. There's the video. I'm gonna watch this fire go out now and finish off my lunch. Hope you took something from it. If you haven't done so already, please think about liking, subscribing, hit the notification bell. And if you want to see some more videos, check that one out and this one. And I'll catch you again later. All the best.